Guys, Bungie's not looking too good. Okay? Bungie's not looking too good. Things are looking very, very bad. As we all kind of expected. Ladies and gentlemen, Bungie, according to Bloomberg, okay? And keep in mind, this is Jason Schreier, the same guy who's currently saying that PlayStation is not going to release their single-player games on PC, and everybody's quoting it as truth, as if we just don't know if it is because PlayStation has said nothing about it. According to Bloomberg, Bungie is going to be planning significant layoffs following the end of Destiny 2. Now, if you're watching this video and you don't know what happened with Destiny 2, well, let me explain. Bungie has officially announced that they are going to be ending the development of Destiny 2. All future updates will cease to exist. They're only going to release one more update, and that is it. And then after that, Destiny 2 will get no more work done on it whatsoever. Now, the reason why this makes this super interesting is because, in case you don't know, or maybe this is the first time you're watching me or whatever, Marathon and Destiny have been having a civil war after Marathon got a very extensive, like, multi-page list of all the planned content and updates and seasons, and it was extensive. They're planning all the way to, like, Season 5 for Marathon. So Destiny players were looking at that, and they were like, literally on the Steam forums, and I'm going to show you in a minute, they were like, wait a second. How come we can't get this level of, kind of conversation? How come we can't get this level of discussion? Why are we being left out of the discussion, right? So Destiny players started getting pissed, and they started blaming Marathon for the reason why their game is not getting worked on anymore. Lo and behold, they were actually right. They were actually right. Marathon is the reason why Destiny essentially is getting abandoned. Not only that, people are like, well, Destiny is getting abandoned because they're working on Destiny 3. Not according to these reports. According to these reports, if we are to believe what is being said, Destiny 3 is actually not even in active production right now. So this means, and I'm telling you, man, Destiny fans are fucking pissed. This means that Bungie has, in fact, chosen Marathon as their golden goose, and they are going to be abandoning Destiny completely in favor of Marathon. That is insanity to me. I cannot believe this is even happening, right? And I can and I can't, right? But like from a business perspective, I cannot believe this is happening. And I just kind of want you to see why this is, right? So let me go over to SteamDB really quick. If we were to go to Marathon at its best, 88,337. Estimated sales are probably around 1 million on PC, give or take. This is the biggest platform for them. They are not as big on PlayStation, not even close. They don't even rank on PlayStation, but they have about 1 million copies sold on PC right now. But unfortunately for them, it doesn't matter. Concurrent player accounts are at its low, like it's bad. It's bad. 12,000 concurrent players for a game that came out 2 months ago. Now, they're choosing to choose that game over Destiny 2, a video game that provided them 3.5 years of consistent players. They have almost as much players as their new game Marathon. Almost as many players concurrently playing. They managed to hit 316,000 concurrent players 3.5 years ago. They managed to sell, and I'm not even kidding, an insane amount of copies. But keep in mind, guys, these numbers are not accurate because Destiny 2 eventually went free to play. So when it went free to play, obviously you have, way higher numbers, right? Like free to play, you probably have like 25 million to 30 million accounts that have this game in their Steam library, right? But regardless, being free on Steam, it wasn't free on PlayStation. They charged money on PlayStation, I believe. If I'm wrong, please let me know. On Steam, it was, I believe, free, but on PlayStation, I'm pretty sure they charged. But in any case, regardless, it was still big on PlayStation 2, right? Like on PlayStation, Destiny is huge. And Destiny was always ranking pretty high on PlayStation. It was pretty big. It wasn't just exclusively big on Steam. Like, Steam obviously brought in a lot of players, but regardless, you know, those aren't paid players. You have to rely on microtransactions and all that stuff. But Destiny 2 was very popular on consoles, you know? But in any case, so after they went free to play, it basically became available on Steam, and it blew up in terms of player numbers. However, even though it blew up in terms of player numbers, at the end of the day, people have to buy into your game, right? They have to buy into your game. They have to believe in it. And people did believe in it for a time. Now, Destiny players are very angry because they feel like Bungie kind of abandoned Destiny. And I think that that's pretty much true at this point because they've been working on Marathon for a few years. So chances are sometime around the start of development on Marathon also coincided with the lowering of content or issues with Destiny. Right? At least that's how I'm understanding the situation. If I'm wrong, you're more than welcome to tell me, but that's how I'm seeing it. So they abandoned the paying customers on PlayStation. They abandoned all the players on Steam, and they're saying, "No, we don't want you. We want Marathon." That's what they're saying. And I think that's insane to me because the numbers just don't back this up. Even though Marathon is pay to play right now, I guarantee you it's only a matter of time before they eventually go free to play. Just like Destiny, right? So let's go over this entire statement. Bungie staff are currently pitching and prototyping new projects, including in the Destiny franchise, but none of the projects have actually been greenlit. If they don't greenlight a Destiny project, we are going to have a massive fucking problem. Not from me, but I'm saying like overall, because look at this. You know what? Let's go to the Destiny forums. Hold on. Let's go to the... You want to see what Demoralized looks like? Look at this. This is the Destiny forums. Well, guess that's it then. Destiny 2's grave, leave a flower. Imagine defending a slop dead game. Destiny 3 confirmed not in development. This game has more players than Marathon. In what world does Marathon, a niche extraction shooter, surpass Destiny? Come to Banframe. They're trying to get people to go to Warframe. One of the Bungie developers cheered Charlie Kirk's passing. Reap what you sow. Well, I guess that's it. R.I.P. All these fond farewells prove, etc., etc. Guys, people, I mean, they are not happy. Go woke, go broke. I mean, I don't know where that came from, but maybe it's the developers. Who knows? Come join Warframe. Congrats, Bungie, at destroying your own game. Warframe is for chuds. The end of an era. Destiny 2 is dying. The end of something special. It's been a journey. This is hurting me a lot. Guys, you want to see what the Marathon forums look like? Let me show you what the Marathon forums look like. Just cancel it. Marathon eliminated Destiny 2. The anti-Bungie propaganda is a hoax? What the fuck? What? Hold on. That one got me. That was funny. It is happening. The salt of Destiny fans' tears will make me a god. Brother, do you guys not realize, like, this used to be one tight community of a bunch of super fanboys for a company, right? People were super fanboying over Bungie. And this is the reason why Marathon has such a high number at the beginning. And I said that was going to happen. Bungie fanboys were going to show up and they were going to try to carry that game. Unfortunately, a lot of them were Destiny players. And they realized, like, you know what? This is not what I thought it was going to be. And they eventually checked out. And that's why the numbers are as low as they are now. Now, Marathon does have its dedicated little fan base, but it's almost equivalent to a 3.5-year-old video game. Chances are somebody at Bungie is probably saying, well, if the numbers are the same, at least one of them is paying us, which is Marathon, right? Because people paid in to play Marathon on PC, where that didn't happen with Destiny. Not only that, people are more likely to probably buy microtransactions in the brand new game than they are in one of the older games, or at least that's probably how they're thinking about it. You know, they're probably saying, listen, we could probably convince somebody to pay $20 to get a new color for their armor. We could probably convince them to do that. When Marathon dies, woke gaming is over. Asmongold said Marathon is the last bastion of DEI and woke in video games. I don't think that's true. People are obviously trying to fight it. How is this game woke? I've seen car crashes unfold better than this. They're closing a game with 10K players. Will they close? And it just keeps going. Can't believe this game is legitimately killing Bungie. We tried to tell you. Nobody want to listen. Gamers win again. Live service station was shut down. Destiny bros. Sorry, guys. If you care about Destiny, review bomb this game. The Civil War is here. Guys, the Civil War is here. Again, this used to be a very tight-knit Bungie fanboy community. And what Bungie actually ended up doing was they ended up splitting their own fan base. Talk about fucking retarded. You guys have lost a massive amount of your players, and you decided to take the last bit of players that you have and split them. Why you did that, I don't know. But this is where we're at now. The Civil War is here, and there's no denying it now at this point. You can clearly see. Thanks for nothing, Marathon. Destiny died, so absolute garbage could crawl and die. Wild. I'll tell you this. If Marathon dies, there's going to be such a huge backlash from Destiny players. Because they'd be like, you killed our game so that this game could die too? Well, I'm sorry to break it to you, but that's exactly how this is going to go. I struggle to feel motivation to play. Bungie strung me along. And look what they said. As a Destiny 2 player continuously saying, don't worry, Destiny has a future. It's not going anywhere. Now, Destiny development has stopped. I'm afraid Bungie will not make enough from Marathon to keep it afloat. Well, you're finally learning. Marathon's failure killed Destiny. Pretty much. Do you support this situation of Bungie? Rest in pieces, Bungie. Anyway, you guys get the point. You guys get the point. It is a clusterfuck, okay? It is a clusterfuck over at the Marathon forums, and it's a clusterfuck over at the Destiny forums. Actually, for pure comedy's sake, this is a pretty old... Let me refresh. It's been a long ride, guys. This sucks. No Destiny 3. Sony must perish. Wow. This is completely on you, Bungie, and entirely deserved. Need help with 2 final achievements. You think Bungie's sacrifice Marathon? Is it worth returning? Nope. Destiny 3. Oh, we read another one. We are still standing, so it's finally over. Guys, wow. Okay, well, you get the point. So let's go over to now the culmination, I guess you could say, of the actions made by Bungie, right? So we already said that, you know, Concord tax is a thing. Why do you guys think that the PSN services keep raising in price? Why do you think that the consoles keep going up in price? There's a couple of reasons. One of the main reasons is because they realized they could get away with it. That's number one. And number two, the other reason is because they found a way to subsidize their failures. That's really what it is, right? They found a way to subsidize all their failures. So Sony has had, on the live service front, aside from Helldivers 2, they've had an ungodly amount of failures. It is actually pretty fucking disgusting. You also found out recently that Bungie just lost almost $800 million in valuation. So Bungie, a company that was bought for about $4 billion, is now suddenly, on top of their previous evaluation, now worth about a little over $2 billion. So they lost an ungodly amount of valuation. The company is not worth nowhere near what Sony paid for it, and Sony essentially lost a couple of billions of dollars, which is not good, right? That's obviously not good. So when that happens, when you have a valuation loss that high, naturally what's going to happen is the company's going to look at your company, right? Sony's going to look at Bungie. They're going to say, we're not going to pay for these people anymore. Your company's only worth X, Y, Z, and we are now overpaying for payroll. It's time to let people go. Anybody with a brain can see that that's going to be the next step. And, of course, the Bungie fanboys are trying to deny that. They're like, no, this is not going to happen. Well, it looks like it's coming. If we are to believe the story, again, from Bloomberg, take it with a grain of salt. But if we are to believe this story, I think it's pretty obvious it's going to happen, right? The Sony subsidiary will focus on Marathon rather than jumping directly to Destiny 3. Bro, Destiny fans, just give it up. Give it up. They've completely said, fuck Destiny. We're not going to focus on it whatsoever. Marathon is now our golden goose. That's what we want to focus on. We understand that Destiny has carried Bungie. We understand that Destiny has made Bungie into what they are now outside of their earlier projects. Destiny is the only reason they were still alive. And now they said, fuck you, we're going to go with Marathon. We like Marathon better. Crazy. The company doesn't have a new project lined up for Destiny's 2 development team after the game comes to an end next month, according to the people who asked to not be identified because they weren't authorized to speak to press. Bungie doesn't plan to immediately enter production on a Destiny 3, they say. The number of job cuts was not known. It's going to be massive. It's going to be massive. If you think that, listen, if you think Bungie's not going to be firing at least a couple of hundred people, I think you're out of your mind, right? Bungie is absolutely going to be firing a couple of hundred people at the bare minimum. On Thursday, Bungie confirmed that the upcoming June 9th update of Destiny 2 will be the final content update of the game. The studio promised that it will remain online for players to access. At the bare minimum, at least they're keeping the servers online. So that's great. Fine, whatever. They keep the servers online for Destiny 1 as well, so that's fine. Whatever. But players have nothing to look forward to. You're gonna see numbers fall off so fast, it's not even funny. While our love for Destiny 2 has not changed, oh yeah, okay. Our love for Destiny 2 has not changed, even though you guys have been mistreating Destiny for how long now? I've seen Destiny 2 players complaining for I honestly probably years now. Maybe like 2 years now or something like that. I've seen Destiny 2 players complaining for a while that Bungie has not been listening to them, and Marathon pretty much only confirmed that that is true. Like, you cannot even deny it at this point. And then on top of that, you are stopping development on Destiny 2 to go to Marathon. That just confirms everything that Destiny players have been saying about Bungie not giving a fuck about them. You know? So, again, I've stopped. I was a hardcore Destiny 1 player. I loved Destiny 1. I did not like Destiny 2. I pretty much gave up on Destiny 2 fairly quickly, personally. So I was checked out. I'm not personally involved in this, but I do keep tabs on it every now and then, just out of curiosity, just like I keep tabs on World of Warcraft every now and then, even though I don't play that game anymore. And like I said, I've been seeing Destiny 2 players complaining for a while now. So I think we're going to see at least a couple of hundred people fired. It has become clear that after the final shape, we have reached the time for our shared worlds and Destiny to live beyond Destiny 2, Bungie wrote in a blog post. So again, guys, all I can really say is that unfortunately, this is the end for Destiny players, and I think that the Steam forums are about to get a lot uglier. I think that the Marathon forums are about to get a lot uglier. I think that, unironically, the people who were probably defending Marathon because they were Bungie fanboys, but they were actually Destiny fans first, I think we might see some of them become chuds. I don't know about you, but I think some of them just might become a little chuddish, man. They might become chuds. They might actually agree that the chuds were right on this one. You know? And before you know it, they're going to be like, shit, yeah, I think I agree with the chuds on this one. I don't know, man. I think it sucks because anytime you play a game like this for this many years and you see the game die before your eyes, it's never great, right? It's never great. But I don't know, man. This is a tough situation. So unfortunately for Destiny fans, I'm sorry, man, but you put your eggs in the wrong basket when it comes to Bungie. And just to be clear, Bungie as a company has always been a piece of shit company for the most part, especially over the last 5 to 10 years. They've been a piece of shit company. So they had a game that people enjoy, people like Destiny, whatever, fine. You can forgive the piece of shit company if you're giving them a product that they actually enjoy. But once you stopped giving them that, well, it's only a matter of time before people start looking at you like you're a piece of shit. And everything that happened with Bungie in terms of the stealing of art, keep in mind, guys, Bungie has been caught stealing not once, not twice, 5 times. 5 times Bungie got caught. And each time they kept saying, we won't do it again. And then they did it again. But people kept forgiving them because they liked the game. They liked the series. They liked the, the franchise, whatever. But now that Bungie fanboys got felted, not by the chuds, not even by wokies, Bungie fanboys got felted by Bungie. And I think that's going to wake up a lot of people that were asleep to letting Bungie get away with things. I think the people that were just turning a blind eye to it, I think they made a bad move. And I would even argue that there's a lot more of those people in the Destiny fan base than there is in the Marathon fan base. Because even if some people don't play Destiny as often as they did, I guarantee you a lot more people play Destiny than they did Marathon. So to abandon the bigger franchise, the much bigger franchise, for some short-term gain with Marathon, I think you made a bad move. So I think what it ultimately comes down to is that Bungie as a company, they're running out of money. They're running out of money, and they only have the money to support one live service video game. That's what I really think is happening here. Outside of trying to get more money for development, but that's a whole nother conversation. I think that they started running out of money, and they only have enough to service one video game, and they're betting on Marathon. That's what I think is happening. Outside of just running the servers for Destiny 2, they can't afford to make content for Destiny 2. And I don't think Sony's going to want to pay them either, because their valuation went down almost $2 billion. Why would they want to do that? How can they be out of money? Sony will give them more. See, the thing is, the servers and the game, they run on the money that the companies actually make. But in terms of making the video game and making the content, that is usually funded by Sony, because Sony's pretty involved. But I think that due to the valuation being hit the way that it was, I think Sony has decided to pull out on funding content for Destiny 2. Even though they might have normally done that before, I think they're pulling out of that, and they're saying, you can keep the servers alive. Obviously, Destiny 1 and Destiny 2 have their servers alive. But in terms of content, we're only going to help you fund one. And so they decided on Marathon. And Sony probably decided on Marathon too. Why? Because it's the brand new thing. It's an extraction shooter, right? So all of these executives have it in their mind that, oh my God, extraction shooter is the hot thing now. Everybody's going to play it. Everybody's going to love it. We're going to make so much money. You know, they decided to back that horse. So now we get to watch what's going to happen when Bungie backs this horse. Are they going to back the right horse, or are they backing the wrong horse? I don't know. But we're going to see how this is going to go. So now Bungie's entire future is reliant on just one video game right now. Just one. Instead of two, now it's just one. So if this game, now, if you thought this game was getting watched hard before, because guys, I haven't been watching Marathon like this. I don't give a fuck about Marathon, to be honest with you. Although every now and then we bring it up because it's relevant to a Bungie conversation. But if you thought that Marathon was being hawked by people before, you have no fucking idea how much more this game is going to get hawked now. Because now you took everybody's eyes and you zoned them in on one target. So now everybody's going to be looking at Marathon more than they already were. And if this thing loses any kind of players, which, by the way, guys, we haven't even gotten to the wipe. The wipe is coming. Once the progression wipe happens, and all these hardcore Bungie fanboys that never played an extraction shooter, they lose their progress, and they lose their gear, and they lose everything. Bro. Oh my, I can't wait. I can't wait. It's going to be interesting. It'll be interesting. I think that the wipe might bring in some initial players, but I think the final numbers are going to be even lower. Pretty sure. So, anyway, we'll see what ends up happening with this, but that's what's going on with good old Bungie, and it is not looking good, boys. It is not looking good. Bungie got one game, and that's it. So, there you go. We'll see what ends up happening, ladies and gentlemen, but it's not looking good for good old Bungie.